seconds.
Video start right now.
Then whatever data area record issue.
Yes, Professor, we are live now. Good morning. Good morning to all participants,
Good morning, sir.
different parts of the country. I hope I am audible and visible a bit.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So thank you for joining this morning. I see altogether 16 participants, of which some are from NPTEL. So hopefully more will join as we go. So this is our live interaction 2. And the purpose of this live interaction is to get a feel of how you're doing, how your learning process is going on, and also to address questions you still have, which is not answered by the chat box, and also to clarify if clarify some of the lessons which sometimes we feel may benefit from more explanation when we actually review our own videos. So we are also involved with you in the process of your learning, and we want to engage with you like this in the weeks to come. Okay, so thank you for asking a lot of questions through the chat forum, and we have tried to answer, of course, we meaning the NPTEL team and my teaching assistant Subisha and myself. So we are working together and to ensure that you learn a lot and benefit a lot by crediting this course on business intelligence and analytics, which another title can be data mining and business intelligence, so which is shown here. This would actually be business intelligence and analytics. Okay. Right, so that's what we are seeing today. Yeah, so the plan is I take you again through an overview of what you have learned in 6 weeks, and subsequently I will look at some of the questions that have come up from your side, and then I will open up for questions and answers. Okay. Now you have learned early lessons on business intelligence and analytics. That is your course, and so in the first few sessions, I think first session and second sessions, you got a basic idea about what is this new science or what is this new area that is evolving. So there was analytics, there was, of course, initially there was decision support systems, data mining, and then came business intelligence, and then came analytics, and then came data science. So we were trying to understand what are these new avatars that are coming based on, of course, the foundation is, of course, data. And we also saw how the availability and accessibility of data have changed the whole phenomenon of analytics. Okay, so we today have access to large volumes of real-time varieties of data that has created a new field called data science. And we are also able to store and transmit large volumes of data thanks to new developments in technology. Okay, so these are some of the changes that we have seen in the field of technology that is enabling analytics and data science. And data science
is
business
intelligence. Our live session போட்டிருக்கார் வேணும்னா கேளுங்க. Taji Matthew. Yeah.
Hello. I request the participants to keep your microphones in mute mode so that it doesn't disturb others. Please mute your mics. Okay, you will be given chance to ask questions. I'm giving an overview now. Okay, so there is data science. We have seen that, and you have seen an architecture of business intelligence and what are the sort of components, technology components that go into creating analytics or data-based solutions for decision making. So fundamentally, all these systems are actually um, creating intelligence for decision making. Okay, so intelligent decisions are better than bad decisions or non-intelligent decisions. Okay, so that is a sort of philosophy. And so essentially data through algorithms create intelligence. Okay, and that intelligence comes through information, right? So it is the insights in the new information or is actually the basis for decision making. So we have seen this with examples, examples like the Viscosity score, which I used to explain to you how an organization can take better decisions, okay, when you use a data-based approach, when you use algorithms to process the data, and what kind of infrastructure is required to implement these solutions, etc. Okay, so that is an overview that you got in the first few sessions. And we stressed, unlike any other course on analytics, we actually spend enough time to understand the infrastructure, the technology that is required to act on data. Okay, and we emphasize the need for data quality to ensure information quality. Okay, and quality of information influences quality of decisions. Okay, so hence we looked at different aspects of data quality, and I'm stressing it again because your solution is as good as your raw material. Okay, you may be very intelligent, but if your inputs are wrong, you will be applying your algorithms or intelligence on those raw materials, and therefore your output will not be useful. So ensure that you're working on data that is accurate, that is complete, that is consistent, that is timely. Okay, and in the session on artificial neural networks, I will be giving you a glimpse of different types of data that is related to time. Okay, cross-sectional data, time series data, final data, etc. So how time should be controlled in a cross-sectional data versus how data is collected at regular intervals of time in a longitudinal or in a time series data. So time, awareness about time is very important when you work with data. Okay, and then is the data believable? Can it be interpreted? Etc. are very important in the use of data. So analysts should spend sufficient time in ensuring the quality of data that they are using in analytics. That is one point that we stressed overall. And subsequently, we moved on to the analytics process, and we understood how analytics should follow a very credible process, okay? Right from thought process to defining variables that are relevant to the problem, or in other words, convert your business problem to an analytics problem. And in that process, be aware of what variables, okay? Analytics is not qualitative research. Analytics is quantitative research, and hence it requires variables, okay? And therefore, what variables are relevant? How will you choose variables? What variables you should use? What variables you should not use? And what are the basis for taking these decisions? I know that we spent time on, and subsequently we looked at the model selection process, because the next step in the analytics process is building models and subsequently testing them, validating them, and rolling them out and implementing them, and then see what is the effectiveness of the analytics solution. Does it lift the performance of business from one level to the other? So lift as a measure, and then tweak the model, add and drop variables or use a different algorithm, okay, or there are different approaches you can take to improve upon your methods to fine tune your model. So that is actually a cycle. So that is what we learned in analytics process. And so we also, looked at the trade-offs in flexibility versus prediction error. Okay, so or bias variance trade-off in the choice of models. Okay, if you use two flexible models, they may fail to generalize. These are some of the principles that we learned. Hello? Is someone talking? I would request you to mute your mic and I will give you a chance to give me feedback or ask me questions. Okay. So subsequently in week 6, I understand that you're working on classification. Okay. So as a technique, so what is given in colors are the techniques that you're learning through this course. Regression, like this was explained to you along with a problem related to a retail bank. And then we are learning decision trees. You're going to learn it in the next week. Okay. You will learn a specific classification technique called decision trees, okay, which is an algorithmic technique. And you will be learning to implement this in Python, okay, for a given problem. And a problem will be accompanied by a data set. And I want to stress this point again, that the problems that we are working out along with data sets are for the purpose of demonstration. Okay, it is for the purpose of demonstrating through this course. We are teaching you certain theoretical concepts, and subsequently we are illustrating those concepts with the help of examples. Okay, so we are not doing any consultancy work in this course. Okay, so we have data collected from various sources, which we use only for the purpose of demonstration. We are not sharing that data with you because these are all proprietary data. Okay, and therefore some of you have been constantly asking us, give us the data, give us the data. Sorry, this is only for the purpose of demonstrating or explaining the concepts. Okay. If you want to do practical work, I have already given you references for data sources. Okay, please refer to your course outline, and you will get a number of online resources for getting pilot data sets. Like the University of California, Irvine. We also referred you to Kaggle, etc., etc. Okay, so it is for you to visit those sites and use relevant data and work on similar problems and sort of practice them. Okay, so so I think this question of sharing data is not correct, because data is not something that we have promised to give you, but we demonstrate it, and you can definitely follow what we are doing on another set of data which you can get from these sites. Okay, so please do that. And even the code, so we are going to use Python code in demonstrating how to solve problem. Okay, but I'm sure you're going to ask us for share the code with us. Okay, it is a bit unfair to ask for code. Okay, we show you how to write the code and what code we are using. You can stop a video at any point and look at the code, but you have to write your own code with your hands. Okay, I don't recommend copying and pasting code from one place and just press the run button and it runs. What's the point? Have you learned anything? You don't learn anything. Okay, so therefore we are not going to share the code with you for you to copy and paste, but you have to write code with your own hands. Okay, and you have to learn, since we use Python and R, refer to the materials given to you for learning Python and R, and read the manuals given for the different functions of the Python library, and learn this library and their functions. Okay, only then you learn a course well. Okay, I don't recommend doing the same thing which we have done by copy paste activity. Okay, that is discouraged. All right. Okay, so before I close and attend to your questions, let me explain once again a couple of concepts which are discussed in classification for your benefit, so that these key concepts which are given in the lectures are understood well by you. Okay, and subsequently I will take questions. So by now, you know that in order to assess the performance of a classifier, you need multiple measures. Okay. What you have as an output from a prediction algorithm, like the decision tree, would be the contingency table or the confusion table, which is presented here. Okay. This is known as a confusion matrix or a contingency table. So actual versus predicted. Okay. From the actual versus predicted, you can count how many true positives are there, how many true negatives are there, how many false positives, and how many false negatives. These counts actually form the basis for calculating certain ratios, which are the performances, which measures the performance of the classifier for different applications, I would say. And this is explained in your course material and in your video. So you have overall accuracy, overall error, then you have sensitivity or recall. Okay, they are the same. Then you have specificity, true positive by positive, true negative by negative, which is specificity, and a measure called precision. Okay, true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. Okay, of all the positives that is reported, how many are true? Okay, that is the precision. So having learned this, and you also learned about the ROC curves, which actually visualizes the true positive versus false positive phenomena. Okay, and we have already seen how when true positives increases, false positives also increase. Okay, generally increase. So therefore, a classifier should be built and tuned such that the sensitivity and specificity are maximum, or the desired measures of performance are maximized. Okay, and that is the purpose of discussing the different measures for classifier performance. Okay, and let me actually also address one of the questions that has come in the uh, in the live interaction, which we received a while ago. Somebody has asked practically what is the relevance of this discussion in organizations, something like that. So at some point, my PhD student and I, we were actually doing some work for a large online retail company. Don't ask me whether it is Amazon or Flipkart, but one of those. Okay, and so we had a discussion with the data scientist of that large organization, and they were working on a classification problem. Okay, and so we had a discussion on precision versus recall issue or trade-off when they work on a classification problem in online product management. So the point I want to stress is that the concepts that you discuss, like the ROC curves, precision recall, sensitivity, specificity, are practically useful concepts or practically useful measures when you work on classification. Okay, so I just want to stress on the practical side. Sorry, I think I got interrupted. I will. I hope you can see my. I hope the slide is visible to everyone. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So I want to stress on this diagram of precision versus recall. Okay. And let me explain this to you once again. For the sake of clarity, and one scenario which I did not include in the discussion is both recall is less than 1 and precision is also less than 1. So in order to give you a better clarity, particularly in the case of information retrieval, which I explained to you in the lecture video, let us think of different scenarios. Okay. So let me first write down what is precision. Precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive, and recall is equal to true positive divided by total positive. Okay. And we know that total positive is true positive plus false negative. Okay. It is true positive first false negative, because false negative is actually positive, but the classifier falsely classified it as negative. Okay. So therefore, P is equal to a true positive plus false negative. Okay. So let us be aware of these ratios. Precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive, and recall is true positive divided by true positive plus false negative. Now in information retrieval, so as we discussed, it's a search for information. So when you search a Google or a Google Scholar, they produces thousands of reference to thousands of documents. Okay. And of all the documents produced, so there are different scenarios. Okay. So you have a case A when this is the actual retrieved documents. Okay. And there is an intersection between what is relevant. Okay. What is relevant and what is retrieved. Okay. So of all the documents that is retrieved, only this part is actually relevant. Okay. And therefore, it has retrieved a lot of documents which is actually not relevant. Okay. So therefore, these are false positives. Retrieved but not relevant. Okay. So a lot of false positives. Okay. And not retrieved but relevant. False negatives. Okay. Correct. And hence, look at the ratios. Okay. With respect to this Venn diagram, which is scenario 1, you have a condition where you have a false positive which is greater than 0. You have a false negative which is greater than 0. And therefore, both precision is less than 1. Recall is also less than 1. Correct. That is the scenario here, because both FP and FN are greater than 0 and going by this ratio. Correct. Now, let us look at another scenario where you have, this is what is retrieved. Okay. Let me try to change the pen color. And a subset of what is retrieved is relevant. This is the typical search scenario, right? A lot of materials are retrieved, but not overall relevant. Okay. So relevant is a subset of what is retrieved. And therefore, what is in the blue, this is the true positive. Okay. This is true positive. And what is outside of that is false positive. Correct? But is there any false negative? No. We believe all the positives which are there have been retrieved by the system, and there is no false negative. So all the positives that you are interested in has been retrieved. Okay. But it is only a subset of what is retrieved. So your job is to now skim through the whole bad documents that has come and get the true positives from it. Okay. So that is a scenario which is not very desirable. But we say that since FP is not is more than more than 0, you have a condition where P is less than 1. But there is no false negative here. Okay, your positive, okay, all your positives have been retrieved, and therefore PP equals P. There is no false negative. Hence, your recall is equal to 1. Recall is equal to 1 because Fn is equal to 0. Right? That is your scenario 2. The scenario 3 is easily imaginable. You have the reverse condition where you have relevant documents is a superset of what is retrieved. Okay. This is relevant and this is retrieved. And this is the true positive. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what is retrieved, but of all the relevant documents, only a small subset. This what is retrieved is true positive, agreed. But there is a lot of documents which are relevant but not retrieved, which is actually your false negative. Okay. This is not retrieved by the system, by the search algorithm. Therefore, it is false negative. So false negative is greater than 0. Therefore, what happens here is your P is equal to 1, right? Because there is no false positive here. But your R is less than 1 because you have a lot of false negative. False positive is 0 here, but false negative is greater than 0, and that makes recall less than 1. Okay. Both conditions are not desirable. Okay. Retrieving a lot of documents, but not all are relevant. A lot of them are irrelevant, versus retrieving relevant documents, but not exhaustive. Okay. Not containing all the relevant documents. Okay. That is also not desirable. So R less than 1 is not desirable. P less than 1 is not desirable. P less than 1 or R less than 1, both are not desirable. But what is desirable is when both the circles are the same. Okay. All what is relevant is retrieved. All that is retrieved are relevant. Okay. That is the best situation when P equals 1, R equals 1. Okay. That is your scenario 3. Scenario 4. Okay. This is 3. This is 4. Okay. I hope this discussion makes it clear what are the trade-offs and how you can actually visualize this trade-off with the measures, precision, and recall. Okay. Particularly with the example of the information retrieval. Okay. So this is one lesson I thought I will sort of illustrate further to you, because if you don't get it well, you may get confused. Okay. That was the purpose. Okay. Now, let me come back to your questions. I will maybe stop sharing and look at the questions. Sorry.
The retrieved, I just have one question, Nilesh here.
I will come back to you for questions. Let me first respond to questions which has come from you
Okay.
by the Google form, and subsequently I will take online questions. Okay. Those 2 questions early get priority, and then I will come back to you. Okay. First question from Hrithik. I've been diligent following the course and completing each assignment post reading the literature referred. I want to ask, sometimes even after trying, I do not feel confident about making a career in this field. Please guide. Actually, career guidance on analytics or data science is beyond my scope or beyond my ability. But all that I can say is, by doing this course, you're developing your skills, you're developing your competence, and that prepares you to face a job interview. Okay. Because in a job interview, if you are actually giving for an analytics position, somebody may ask you to explain what is precision and recall. Okay. And you can explain that with conviction when you have done this course. Okay. So this course is a preparation for your career, but I can't actually tell you how to use this in your career because you have to look for job opportunities. If you're already in a existing job, you can actually look for opportunities to demonstrate your skills and show how you have done an NPTEL course from IIT Madras, and that adds to your sort of that strengthens your CV. Okay. So that's all I can say. And of course, you must be in professional networking sites like LinkedIn to understand the market well and position yourself, etc. So that's a separate thing. Nikhil has asked, in your experience, what are some common challenges organizations face when implementing business intelligence solutions, and how can professionals address these challenges effectively? So this is again a question from the field, and this is academics and practice is a different world. So this is a question that you must actually direct towards a practicing manager. And I do give some problems drawn from the world of practice. And I also, while explaining this to you, I told you how a large retail company, online retail company, at the end of the day, when they actually do data analysis, they need to interpret it, okay, and take decisions on using the models. So these kind of discussions do come, okay. And how you apply in large projects? Well, you have to become a member of an organization and then, work with professionals. And the role of academics is to sort of prepare you conceptually and help you think in the right way, etc. Okay. Can you please explain R-squared measure once again? Okay. This is a question from regression. So it is better you refer to a textbook on statistics, which is a prerequisite, because if I have to teach regression from foundations, it is not possible. But R-square is a measure. It's also known as coefficient of determination. Is my screen visible to you? What I am writing?
Yes, sir.
Is a also known as goodness of fit. Okay, so you have your y, you have your x, and you have a regression line. Okay, and how well the model or the line has fit the data is what actually R-square gives. If this line is able to pass through all the data points, R-square is equal to 1 or 100%. If it doesn't pass through any of the points, R-square is 0. Okay, so it's a ratio to the model's explanatory power to what is explained variation divided by unexplained variation. Okay, that is the idea of R-square. But I just don't want to give a lecture on R-square. It is actually a prerequisite. So please read textbook, okay, on regression analysis. Okay. Mritika, Professor, when we work with machine learning and regression analysis, will we gain in-depth knowledge of splitting the data set up in training and testing sets and continuing with analysis? Okay, so you are asking a question regarding model validation. Doesn't depend on whether it is regression. For any predictive analytics problem, you need to validate your model after building the model. Okay, so in the lectures on data mining process or analytics process, I have discussed the cross-validation techniques, okay? Mainly the partitioning technique, the leave one out cross-validation or lose CV, and the K-fold cross-validation, okay? So go through those lessons once again and try understand what are the differences between these 3 different cross-validation techniques, what they are trying to achieve, etc. And subsequently, when you're going to work on problems like the decision trees, you will see how we apply this, okay? How partitioning technique, a particular partitioning function which is available in Python library, scikit-learn is used for partitioning, etc. So how to practically implement the partitioning technique would be explained to you when you work on decision trees. Okay. All right. And Swati has a question. Any old exam papers for practice is available for theory exams? Any project will be working in future classes? I'm sorry, this course is being offered first time, and we do not provide an old question paper at the moment. So sorry for that, and I think I said this once before as well. But you have a lot of online data sources which I have referred to you for doing a project. You can choose a project of your own, say which is for classification or uh, time series analysis or whatever you want to do. You can actually do a project, okay, based on the knowledge you gain from this course. Okay, so that is the way forward. And you're also getting questions during your assignments, and that gives you a sense of how the final exam, which will be, of course, objective type. So you can imagine how the final exams will be, but you must learn concepts thoroughly and work with the problems that has been demonstrated in the class with different sets of data, etc. Okay. And we expect rigorous learning and participation for you to perform well in your final examination. So are there any other questions? So these are the questions we received online. Now we are open to your questions from the audience. Okay.
Yes, sir. I was just going through your explanation now, retrieval and recall. So wanted to know, like, this is taken in week 6, or maybe I will refer that. So don't know if I have it is explained in the week 6 tutorial. But just wanted to know that the false negative will always come in the retrieval, is it?
Can you say that once, ask that once again? I missed some points from the question.
Okay, okay. Yes, actually, I am yet to go through this week 6 videos. So wanted to know a bit more on retrieval and recall. If it is explained in those videos, then I will go through. No issues.
No, I don't want to spoil your learning. You go through the week 6 videos and then, okay, find out
Oh,
what it is.
sure,
That is
sure.
fine.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, there are some chats that have come. Let me try to go there and see your questions. Okay, and thanks for adding some points, Chetan and others. Saurabh, which books are referred as Han et al. EI? That is your textbook 1, right? It is already referred in your course outline. Han, okay. That is your textbook 1, please. Okay. Data mining techniques, okay. That is your textbook 1. James and others, that is your textbook 2. Okay, that is the ISL, or Introduction to Statistical Learning. That is your textbook 2. All right. Are there more questions? Otherwise, we will assume that everyone has understood everything. Yeah, Chetan has said regression is covered well in text 2. Very practical treatment of the topic of regression you can get in textbook 2, James and others. Thanks, Aditi. how business intelligence is related with data mining. I think this was explained in the business intelligence architecture. You can listen to the lecture once again. So essentially, business intelligence architecture was depicted starting from the layer of data to data warehouse. And then at the top layer, you have the intelligence tools or analytics tools, which can be used for descriptive analysis, descriptive analytics, explanatory, and predictive analytics requires advanced tools. And these advanced techniques or algorithmic techniques are known as data mining techniques. So data mining is actually advanced analytics. Okay, so they also told you how data mining is a misnomer in terms of the label. Label data mining. It's not mining data, it's actually mining knowledge. Okay? So please listen to the lecture, you will better understand this. Thanks, Aditi, for the positive comment on the lectures. Yeah, you will be learning Python in from the next week onwards. Okay, from decision trees onwards, we will be implementing them using Python code. But please don't ask for the data and Python code. And we have said this already. You have to look at the demonstration and learn to write your own code and use your own data. Somebody asked, can we access IIT Madras library? Well, you can write to the librarian, and librarian's email address is available in Central Library website of IIT Madras, and get a permission to access. Of course, you have to give your affiliation, and you have to justify your request. You are doing a NPTEL course, and if they allow, definitely you must be able to access the library. Okay, so please write to the library. Amit, we didn't have conceptual and physical modeling questions. So you wanted more tough questions? That's what Amit you say. We can make it tougher for the subsequent weeks because the week that is past is over. We thought we will get you started and build you slowly and progressively to work with models, and you're going to learn modeling techniques hands-on, isn't it? So Amit, wait for lessons on classification, decision trees, cluster analysis, neural networks. Okay, so you'll be learning modeling, hardcore modeling, but I didn't know what you meant by physical modeling. Okay, physical, there's no physical object here, right? It's all conceptual, right? And therefore may not be appropriate to call it physical modeling. Thanks for Steven. I'm glad to learn that your study is going smooth. And Vaibhav, thanks for the positive comment. Okay, and thanks to all of you. Nilesh, thanks for appreciating the course. And Vanajakshi, sir, what are the different tools to use for the implementation of business intelligence and analytics? Yeah, so we are going to use Python and R. These are sort of statistical programming tools, okay? Not just statistical programming, there are other algorithms also which can be implemented using the Python or R platforms, okay? These are one ways, but there are a lot of commercial platforms available like the SaaS, like the SAP, like the Microsoft. So they all provide business intelligence platforms, okay? So you have to buy, but the ones which we use in this course are free, okay? Open source and free. Okay. And Chetan, I'm glad to learn that Subisha, your TA, is doing a good job, and she is, okay. Very good. And I think we can close here. If there are no more questions. So enjoy learning and do work alongside the course after listening to the lectures and watching the demonstrations. Pick up a problem on your own and try to solve that problem using the code that is used in the demonstration, with your own hands, okay? And that will help you gain confidence, okay? And all of you are concerned about building a career in analytics. So do something using your own hands, being in the sense, bring your own data, write your own code, okay? So the references or, resources are available in the lectures, okay? And all the best to you for the coming few weeks. We will, like this, we will meet again after about a month and address your questions again. And meanwhile, if you have concerns, please do write to us using the chat platform. Thank you very much. Have a good week. You will be getting a recording of this interaction, of course. Okay, they, I think, post it on the same day. Thank you very much. Bye.
फक्त 14 पार्टिसिपंट आहे बाई याच्यावर. किती वाजता सुरू होती ही मीटिंग? आलो पण ते हिटर मग परवडत नाही का?